Hello, world. Good morning. I want to invite you to this very special episode of the Founders and Innovators Morning Show. I know we're all dealing with the crisis of coronavirus these weeks here. And so I brought in a very special guest to help us talk through strategizing some of the things we can do with our companies so that we really come out of this crisis better and stronger than ever. So today I'm here with Alison. She is a chief talent strategy advisor, and your company is StrategicHIRE Consulting. Do I have that correct?
You do, absolutely. Hi, world.
Hello. So tell us then more what you do with your approach to recruiting, because from what I understand, you are not the everyday typical recruiter.
Yeah, I'm not the average recruiter. So I'm very much focused on companies building great cultures. I look at the market, and 95% of all open recs are from voluntary turnover. So people just leaving the organization. And you hear about every CEO talking about, oh, we need to attract better talent. In my mind, no, you need to learn how to keep the talent you have. Because, you need to invest in your talent. Like, there's so many people looking for all the tech talent. It's not that hard to learn tech skills. It takes 4 months. You can pair up with a company like Galvanize that can do a custom trainings, and the loyalty that you will create. And they already know your company and love your company. Instead of getting the market that everybody else is fighting for, why don't we invest in your people? Well, of course, I will help you find great people as well, but I really help companies really figure out what their strategy is and how to build a great culture that will retain people.
So tell some of our audience, because I know we have a bunch of early stage founders and startups in our audience, people who are really making these first steps in building a culture. So what are just some things that startups ought to know about how to build a successful company culture?
So purpose, you need to have your why. If you haven't read the book by Simon Sinek, the why, start with your why. I mean, that's so important with anything, in sales, with anytime I go to those founders live pitches, I'm like, what's your why? Start with that, have a purpose, and have people that are on board with that purpose, people that really care, and then really think about what you're trying to achieve. I'm very committed to innovation. I think that innovation is important, and you need to find people that are excited and have different views. I really think that diversity of thought is critical. I know that diversity is a big point, but when I talk to early age like SaaS companies, I tell them, don't just look at race and color. Take the Google approach. So I thought that Google did a phenomenal job in. They say when they look at somebody and when they ask them questions, they don't look for the standard answer. They look, does this person bring a new perspective? And I think that's so critical. You want to have a diversity of thought to really bounce ideas off of. And I think that's critical to innovation. And also, you need to have people that aren't afraid of taking chances and that really are passionate about what they're doing. Because without passion, you won't want to put in the hours. Without that love, and that you just won't have it. But when you're passionate, I think that's what I love about startups, is that they have that. They don't have a lot of other things, but they have that passion. And I'd rather send somebody to a startup that's super passionate and they really want to get something done and they're doing some great things than send them to a Fortune 100 company, to be quite honest.
And so how do you think startup founders should be thinking about the hiring process? Because I know, in many places, especially in the startup ecosystem, you see a lot of these really quick turnovers, people who are, getting that job, keeping it maybe even under a year, and then moving on to what seems to be the next biggest best thing. And sometimes I think even founders, when they finally go and start their own companies, they bring some of that mentality to what they're building, but maybe that's not really the best thing they ought to be doing if you actually want to build a really successful company for the long term. So what are some of your ideas about how companies should think about the hiring process?
So one thing I think that's a little bit different when I talk to my clients, I tell them, you can't just hire somebody. Like currently, I would say the standard model operating, the SOP, if you want to call it, is that they give a recruiter a rec and they're like, oh, we want somebody that's done just that. And I tell them, I'm like, okay, so if you're going to pull someone away from their company for a little bit more money or a little bit new, like something, some pizzazz, right? And to do the exact same thing, what's changing them from then moving on to the next company, where I tell them like, hey, no, you want to hire just underneath. Like, you want that person that has not done that thing yet, but they're really willing. Like, they have the passion and they got the drive, and that person's going to do far better than the person that's super qualified. So that's what I've noticed, and it's a little bit counterproductive in your mind. You're like, oh, does that really work? But yeah, it does. When people, when people want to be challenged. Like, that's just a reality. And another thing I tell companies is that you need to have a pathway. Just because they got hired on as the chief, the CFO, doesn't mean they need to stay there, and you need to be ongoing looking at like, oh, where could they be challenged again, and making sure that they are continuously being challenged. I think this is extremely true for like innovators. Innovators don't want to get bored. They want new things. They want to be able to like be a part of, keep on developing something. So I think by continuously giving them new projects or new ventures is a great way to keep people engaged and make sure they're not leaving. But you shouldn't just hire somebody because they've done the same thing, because they've done it already. Not as fun as somebody who hasn't done it yet.
I think that's wonderful advice. Let's switch gears and even talk about now what founders can do during this coronavirus crisis time. Because obviously we all know we don't want to panic, and we want to be proactive and think long term and think about how we can actually take this time that we have to really make good moves for the future of our business. So what are some things you think that founders can be doing now, during, coronavirus time, however much time it turns out we have off, so that we come out of this bigger and better and stronger than ever?
So I'm so happy you brought this up, because I've actually been thinking a lot about this. I was like, I really want the world to embrace this, and I'm actually writing it on my blog. But yeah, so right now there's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of struggles. It's hard to keep people motivated. Like, there's a lot of uncertainty. But one thing you can do is give back. Take this time and rally your forces to either find a cause, like, especially if you're a tech company, like, you can do something to help mitigate this, to help create processes to even, like, I would say, this would be a great idea. I'd love to see some tech company find a way to connect resources, right? Like, I have a friend that he's like, hey, I have a company that can develop masks. How do I get that information to Trump? And I was like, I have no idea, but they'd be great to even have like a platform that does that helps people to like share resources. Or of course, we are going to be going into a recession. Like, I know people don't want to talk about that, but it's going to happen. But you know what? The barter system's a great way to go. You know what I mean? Like, I do recruiting. I need this. Why not I recruit for some people for free and somebody build my website for me? Different scenarios like that. We need to get creative. But more importantly, like, I really want to see people give back. I know in Canada, that's where I'm from, the students are all out of college are now providing free childcare for healthcare workers. And I thought that was great. And I was like, oh, and I want to see America do the same thing. I want people, if you have been hoarding toilet paper, I get it. But why not, find somebody that doesn't have any and give it to them. It'll make you feel great. It really, truly does. Yesterday, I went and donated blood. And and it's a great feeling. I remember last year when I was running a team, and I didn't force my team to go donate blood, but I did strongly encourage them, and I gave them 4 hours of PTO if they went and did that. They could take a half day off sometime in exchange for doing that. They went and did that, and one day they got a text, and they came into work and they're like, Alison, I just got a text. I saved 2 people's lives today.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, doesn't it feel great? And it's great. It's a really cool program that they do now. They tell you how many lives that or let's say it's a child that has cancer that got your blood. They tell you that. And it truly makes, you're like, oh, that's great. You know what I mean? So I always want to encourage people, like, there's a value to giving, not just that you're helping everybody else, but you also, it's contagious. It's like a smile. You see somebody else smile, you're more like a smile. You give, more people are already a give. And as we build that culture of helping, we will kind of be distracted by the pain, and it will actually become our strength. So I really want to encourage everybody to do the 20-80 rule, just like Google does. Whereas, spend 80 of time working on your core business, but why not devote 20 hours, 20% of your time, so a day a week, on finding something that will help others. and it will look great for your brand. It will make your employees feel that they have purpose and that it will distract them from everything that's going on. And it will feel like it'll gain the control. It will help them feel that, okay, we can handle this. We got this. So those are some of my ideas that I'm really passionate about. I really want that to take off.
No, thank you for sharing all those ideas. You just brought up something too that I think I know I've definitely been seeing when you're talking about employees who are feeling distracted or panicked. And I think there is a real challenge right now of, how do you keep your team organized and motivated and positive? So do you have any thoughts or suggestions you can share of, during this time of social distancing, how we actually keep our teams functioning well?
Yes, so I've been doing some research on this because I feel that, okay, going remote is not as easily said as done. Of course, you can just physically do it. Doesn't mean that you're gonna have the results. You gotta put yourself in your employees' shoes. Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty. So I really want leaders and managers to take this time and reassure them that, hey, I'm not going to go for a layoff. We will do everything in our power. And let me tell you, if it comes to a layoff, it will be because we are closing our doors. And the reason I bring that up is that back in 2008, when they had that financial crisis, if you look at companies that did really well in it, it's companies that, took a stand and said, hey, I'm a CEO, I'm going to give up my bonus. I'm going to give up my pay, as long as they can afford to do so. And I am promising you guys, if we pull together, and yes, we're going to have to make some changes. I'm going to have to, have you guys, take unpaid leave, voluntary unpaid leave. If we all just take off a little bit, we'll make it through it. And what was amazing that this manufacturing company that was not doing so great prior to recession, they actually pulled together, and then people that could afford to take more time off because they're in a better financial state, they gave their time to other people. And 6 months in, they had record-breaking profits because you want engagement. People, it's at an all-time low. They say 32% of Americans are engaged at work. But when you know your company cares about you and that you're safe, you're gonna be like, oh, I can give into it. Right now, if you're uncertain, you're like, oh, I got my kids that might be getting sick. Oh, I got this, I got that stressor. Then you got work, and you're like, oh, I don't really feel like working right now. You know what I mean? But if you know that you're gonna have somebody to come back to, and that they will do everything in their power. And another thing is about having clear communication. If you don't know what's going on and if it's uncertain, great, have that conversation. Like, hey, this is what we're up against. We can cut 20% of the people, or we can cut 20% everybody's pay. What do you guys want us to do? And even if you don't take their advice, which is sad to say, but even if you didn't listen to what they had to say, you just asking for that feedback will absolutely make people more likely to buy into it. Let's say they're like, oh, well, we do have 20% of our employees that kind of, aren't really that happy anyways here. Let's just get rid of them. Well, at least it'd be a consensus and people won't feel like a layoff. A layoff is the worst thing on trust. And if you want to have engagement, you need to have that trust, just like a relationship, right? A working is a relationship. And I love when Simon Sinek said that you should treat your employees like your children. You wouldn't just get rid of your children just because the economy goes down, would you? No, we would figure something out. And I really want companies to embrace that and let their people know that, hey, we're going to be doing this, and have a two-way conversation and ask for their ideas. There's tons of innovation, and employees have great ideas. Nobody ever asked for them. So definitely, ask them what they would do.
Thank you so much. I think these are all really wonderful suggestions. Unfortunately, we're already even almost out of time. Can you tell people if they're interested to find out more? You said you're starting up a blog, and how can they find out more about you?
So I'm big on LinkedIn, so Alison Bell. I should come up. I have a bunch of letters after my name. It's so you'll know that. But I'm sorry, my website will be StrategicHIRE Consulting. And then my blog, I'm pretty sure I'm going to call All Things Talent and Innovation. But I'll definitely post it on my LinkedIn. So connect with me on LinkedIn, and I look forward to meeting all of you. And for startups, I always give free advice to finding people. And one team a quarter, I help you for free find some some good people. So reach out to me. I'm always looking. All I look for are people that have purpose and driven and that want to do something great.
Well, thank you so much. And everybody out there, I hope you're all staying happy and healthy. And these are difficult times, but we are definitely going to get through it. So thank you for being here with us, and we will see you soon. Bye, everybody. Exactly.
Thanks for joining us today. Please don't forget to subscribe, review, and share this show. If you'd like exclusive content and behind-the-scenes insight, for just $4 a month, you can support us at buymeacoffee.com. Now, go make it a great day.